Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayat Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutah Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay, so we're going to continue from where we stopped last time. Mm, 1.9.35 to 37. That was 3rd July. Yeah, 37. That's okay. So we are discussing Bhishma Dev's prayers. Yeah, a few more verses are there. 0.9.38. शितविशिखहतो विशीर्णदंश क्षतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभमपि ससारमद्वदाः तं स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्दा Mukundaha. May he, Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me as if angry because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered, and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. So, when we hear all these verses, we should understand that all this is happening by the will of the Lord. The Lord wants to experience Vira Rasa. So, Bhishma Dev is able to inflict wounds on the transcendental body of the Lord. The body of the Lord is transcendental. Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita writes, people write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita without knowing that there is no difference between inside and outside of Krishna. Meaning everything about Krishna is transcendental. So Krishna's birth, Krishna having wounds, Krishna giving up his so-called mortal body, all this is just to bewilder the atheists and gives a lot of happiness to devotees, because devotees see that how Krishna reciprocates with his other devotees. And all of this is just like transcendental teaching. The people who are atheists, they will get bewildered. So that is why here it is said as if angry. As if angry. Lord was not angry. Lord was happy with the service that Bhishma Dev rendering to him on the battlefield. And he awards salvation, but devotees don't want salvation. Devotees want only pure devotional service. What is the use of salvation and then have nothing to do with the Lord? Do no service to the Lord. It is useless. Right. So this is the beautiful rasa. All the rasas one can exchange with the Lord. The Lord enjoys those exchange of rasas. And so we should ultimately come to this platform of raga, doing devotional service on the platform of the devotees of Vrindavan. That is our goal. 39. Vijayaratha kutumba attatotre dhrutahaya rashmini tachriya tachriye bhagavati ratirastu me mumurshor yam hiya niriksha hata gata swarupam. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the person who got it. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with a whip in his right hand and a bridle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. So here Bhishma Dev is describing the form that attracts him. This is the Parthasarathi form of the Lord. So of course, Bhishma Dev sees him in his four-armed form. But this is the beautiful form of the Lord. Chariot driver of Arjuna with a whip in his right hand, bridle rope in his left. He was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot because we know after the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna asked Arjuna to come down from the chariot. And as soon as he comes down, the whole chariot blows into pieces. So he was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot. Nothing even touched Arjuna's chariot. Forget about touching Arjuna. And those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms. Prabhupada elsewhere writes, what kind of forms did they attain? Even if they developed a little attraction towards Krishna, they were given opportunity to go to his abode. And those who did not have any attraction but still saw Krishna, they got Sayujya. They got liberated and they became one in Brahma Jyoti. But everybody attained their original forms. Original forms basically means original positions. Right? And so the Lord is all good. Sarva Mangala. Krishna is Sarva Mangala. He always does good to everybody. And this is the most important thing for us. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction. Because we have so many attractions, this attraction, Prabhupada specifically has used this word ultimate. This is the final attraction that we should all be attracted towards. I keep thinking so many times, so many things in the head. It could be, some of them are Krishna conscious, some of them are not Krishna conscious. How far we are from actually getting so attracted to Krishna that none of the other attractions or thoughts bother us, or we just stop thinking about other things which are not important. But this is our goal, and that is why we have to do Tibra Sadhana. And our material situation is very, very risky. It's very risky. Anything can happen at any point of time. So we have to be very careful to be always under the protection of Krishna and his representatives. And that is the reason why one has to get initiated, one has to hear from the Guru, one has to be fixed in following the orders of the Guru. Nowadays, unfortunately, in ISKCON, many devotees don't seem to actually, this whole process of initiation is just sentimental. Oh, I like this person, or my neighbor is also a disciple of this devotee, this Maharaj, or everybody in my temple is initiated from him. This is not how one takes initiation. One takes initiation after Shravanam. And Shravanam and understanding, saying that, okay, I'm stuck in this material world. Can this person pull me out? Can he take me out of this material world? How will we know it? Not by seeing the sadhu, by hearing from the sadhu. Because only by that actually we can slowly and steadily make progress towards having Krishna as our ultimate attraction. You just imagine, I mean, this is a moment of death, and we all heard this multiple times. The death is not a very pleasant experience. And we have very, what can we say, like many experiences. I mean, far, far, far from the pain and suffering of death. Small experiences we keep having when we are alive, right? And in all those circumstances, we have to see how much was Krishna in our mind and how much other things were there on our mind. So if we cannot actually practice thinking about Krishna when we are alive, it is very difficult to even imagine what it would be. Right? We heard Kulasekar Alvar. Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaj Panjarantam Adyaiva me Vishatu Manasarajaham Sa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pittai Kantavarodana Vido Smaranam Kutaste. Kantavarodana Smaranam Kutaste. Time of death, kapha, pitta, vayu, everything is aggravated. I can't, nothing is coming from my throat. Gur, 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 sound is coming. So much of distress, Krishna, how can I remember you then? And Kulshekar Alvar is praying, I'm in a healthy condition, take me away now. Let me end my material existence now, when I'm in a position to think about you. So it's a very painful thing that. So we have to practice. We have to practice. See, for those devotees who give their everything to Krishna, Krishna will take care of them at the time of death. This is important, right? This is not like like, what can we say? It's not like a part-time relationship, or it's not like a lifelong. We have to be serving Krishna with love and affection and the commitment, and then Krishna will see that and then say, okay, this devotee has been serving me so nicely all his life. It's okay. He's not able to think about me now at the time of death. It's okay. I will give him remembrance of me. Right? But that's going to happen only if we have dedicated our life to him, right? Not if we are just. And dedicating life means different things for different people, right? Of course, all of us have to take care of our grasta duties. This we should not forget. Yes, somebody is so transcendental. We've not seen such people in today's world. Grastas who have become like so renounced that they've given up everything and taken sannyas. No, very, very few such super qualified people. But otherwise, we should do our responsibilities without attachment. But the focus of our existence, the aim of our existence should be to please Guru and Krishna. If we don't live our life like that, not 1 year, 2 years, multiple years, all the remaining years that we have in our life, it is very difficult to think about Krishna at the time of death. We all see devotees leaving their bodies, and Great devotees. They've done so much of service in the service of, in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And still we see they leave their bodies in such difficult situations. Such difficult situations. Recently saw His Grace Haripat Prabhu. Falini Mataji was saying it was so distressful, so difficult. So much problem he was facing. But we can be super confident that because of his dedication, both Prabhu and Mataji, amazing devotees. Those who have had a chance to, get their association, you will know. I mean, just being around them, you feel like so elated, so happy, and so humble. I mean, amazing devotees, really. I mean, I don't have words. And I keep thinking, saying, yeah, this devotee is so amazing. He made so many people get attracted to Krishna consciousness by his kirtan and his own personality. And then he had to leave his body in very difficult conditions. Very difficult conditions. But we can be 100% sure that because he dedicated his life to Krishna, Krishna would have taken him. Definitely. And this external, whatever situations get created, it's just a test of the faithful. If the people, devotees really have faith in Krishna or not, this is a test. But Krishna will never leave his devotee. Name bhakta pranashyati. And such devotees who, directly contributed so much in Srila Prabhupada's mission, why wouldn't Prabhupada himself take care of them? Definitely Prabhupada himself would have taken care of them. And for such devotees, ultimate attraction will be Krishna, even if they cannot do anything, even if their external senses are impaired, still internally they will be in touch with Krishna. They will be experiencing bliss. But that is not possible if we take bhakti casually. It's not possible. Devotees think that their material life is only important. And they give so much of time and energy for their material life. And whatever is remaining is given to Krishna. That way, if we live, we cannot achieve Krishna. Prabhupada has said in one purport, 15 to 18 years at least, one should do complete devotional service, right? Not part-time, like we are doing now. Whatever we are doing is part-time devotional service at this point of time. So if you do 15 to 18 years, complete devotional service, completely dedicated, then Krishna will take us. So all of us, which is why Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita purports are so amazing. He says, all of us have to, design our lives in such a way that we can always think about Krishna. Prabhupada writes this in Bhagavad Gita. So we have to really be very, very serious about this matter. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given great mercy, right, by giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and without even requiring full surrender, he's giving the holy name, he's given the process without actual qualification. But the point is that for the process to work also, there is a certain way, there is a certain mood in which devotee has to execute it. So if we execute it that way, slowly, steadily, we will definitely make progress. And like I keep saying, we have to see progress. Compared to yesterday, today our bhakti must be better. Quantity, quality, everything. I mean, these kind of statements, when I just get stuck saying that we are so far from this. How do we get there? How do we get there? At the time of death, Bhishma Devi is able to concentrate. I mean, I keep thinking, I just, chanting, I was thinking, I'm not able to concentrate for, not even 10 namas I can concentrate continuously. So many things, okay, this service, that service, okay, it might be spiritual, but still, it's not just on the process, it's not on the Shravanam. It has to be on the Shravanam. It's okay. I mean, one of my um, devotees who I've learned a lot from him, his Grace Vidwan Gaurang Prabhu, he said, yeah, if you are getting spiritual thoughts, it is auspicious during chanting. But it's not the ideal. And definitely material thoughts is namaparada, right? Spiritual thoughts, because they're not different from Krishna, they are the same, but the process still says here the nama. So we are not able to concentrate on nama. And then here Bhishma Deva, at the time of his death, he's able to concentrate his mind upon a form of Krishna, and with so much, detail, right? With the whip in his right hand, bridle rope in his left. We should just imagine, we have to get to this stage. We have to get to this stage. We will just pray and surrender. There's no other way. Okay. 40. Lalitagati Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Kritam Anukritavatya Unmadandaha Prakritim Agan Kila Yasya Gopavadvaha. Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Radhama, the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance. That's amazing. So let me read the purport first. The relationship of the Lord with Arjuna is undoubtedly praiseworthy for devotees like Bhishma Dev, because Bhishma Dev was in Dasya, okay, and Arjuna was in Sakya. So Bhishma Dev also appreciates, because Lord was always with Arjuna, being his friend, guide, well-wisher, everything. So it's undoubtedly praiseworthy for devotees like Bhishma Dev. But the relationship of the gopis with the Lord is still more praiseworthy because of their still more purified loving service. Why Madhurya Bhava? Just because of this, it is the topmost. It gives the most happiness to Krishna. Right? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that while everybody says in their own rasa, saying that my rasa is great, yes, but if you do analysis, then you'll see that actually Madhurya is the best. Because the Lord actually tells the gopis, saying that I can reciprocate with every other devotee in every other rasa, but I can't reciprocate with you. You be pleased by your own selfless service. Lord tells gopis. See, still more purified loving service. And we are aiming at this, or at least that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayo Dasa Dasa Anudasa. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayo. Why Gopi? Because that is the mood. That is the mood in which we have to serve. A still more purified loving service. So this we will understand when we come to the 10th canto, when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll understand how Gopi's love is more purified than Arjuna's. There's so many instances. Here Arjuna is in distress. Gopis were also in distress. Because they were not able to meet Krishna. They were not able to serve Krishna. And for them, it's punishment. And they're married, and externally they are married. Well, all this is creation of Yoga Maya, right? And they have husbands and in-laws and families to take care, etc. But their mind is just racing behind Krishna, who's going to Vrindavan with his cows. And they were in distress. And then last dance happens that night. Krishna blows his beautiful flute, and they're all attracted, and they run crazily towards Krishna in the forest. And then Krishna gives them jnana. Krishna tells them, what is this? Dharma. He's talking about dharma. Is this the right thing for, housewives to do? Come in the dead of the night, alone to this place. And he's giving all dharma, tattva, this, that, and all that. And then in the middle, also like, Uddhava also. When Uddhava comes, he says, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Gopis are not interested in this at all. Arjuna still, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is hearing, okay, he says, okay, Nashtam moho smritir labdo, okay, my ignorance is destroyed, I've heard everything. Gopis are saying, we don't want this. Don't tell us about Krishna's supreme position. We don't care. We don't need it. So purified that they just love Krishna irrespective of who he is. Whether he's a supreme lord, he's, Sarva Karana Karanam, they just not bothered. So that is the reason, one of the reasons why Krishna sends Uddhava to gopis. Uddhava is a Gnana Bhakta. So Krishna wanted to teach Uddhava, saying that, see, this is pure devotional service, not affected by anything else. Karma, Gnana, Karma, Dhanavritam. So obviously here, Bhishma Dev knows Arjuna's position is superior to me. Gopi's position is even more superior to me. By the grace of the Lord, Arjuna was fortunate enough to have the fraternal service of the Lord as chariot driver. But the Lord did not award Arjuna with equal strength. It's amazing. He did not award Arjuna with equal strength. The gopis, however, practically became one with the Lord by attainment of equal footing with the Lord. Bhishma's aspiration to remember the gopis is a prayer to have their mercy also at the last stage of his life. See, this is the humility of a devotee. Oh, they're so great devotees. Please bless me so that I can achieve the Lord. The Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotees are glorified. And therefore, Bhishma Dev was not only glorified the acts of Arjuna, his immediate object of attraction, but has also remembered the gopis who were endowed with unrivaled opportunities. Unrivaled. And of course, there is rivalry. But it is still unrivaled opportunities for rendering loving devotional service to the Lord. And what is this attainment of equal footing? Attainment of equal footing, actually here, the verse is saying here, they themselves imitated the characteristic movements of the Lord. This imitated means not like drama. They actually got into that mood. Right? They were literally like on equal footing. And it's so beautiful, actually. They were so lost. They were so lost in Krishna. See, the gopis' equality here, Prabhupada is saying, the gopis' equality with the Lord should never be misunderstood to be like the Sayujya liberation. The equality is one of perfect ecstasy, where the differential conception, is completely eradicated for the interest of the lover and beloved becomes identical. This is equal footing. Did I miss this? See, these are the statements we cannot forget, right? We cannot miss them. So it goes into my notes. Sometimes these points are missed. And the gopis equality. What is the gopal equality? It's not sahaja. It is one of perfect ecstasy where the differential conception. Differential conception means that I'm non-different from the Lord. I'm non-different from the Lord in terms of interest of the lover and beloved are identical. Because the interests of the lover and loved become identical, this is equality. Arjuna also, though he had equality, for the sake of Bhagavad Gita, he had to come down from that position. But gopis never came down from their position, irrespective of what the situation was. Actually, Lord is helpless in front of the gopis, like literally. We know that in one Leela, Krishna takes on, Narayana form when gopis are looking for Krishna after he disappears. And then, of course, gopis come and then they offer obeisances to Narayana and say, okay, Narayana, did you see our Krishna? Then Krishna wants to bewilder Radharani also. But Radharani's love for Krishna is so powerful. Krishna loses his four-armed form. Just imagine a supreme person of Godhead cannot hold on to his four-armed form. He just naturally comes down to his two-armed form. This is not equality. This is more. This is more than the Lord. Being more than the Lord. Lord is controlled by them. Lord is controlled by all their pure devotees, but to an extent that he himself cannot exercise his own powers. It's just that is why this love of the gopis is just, it's just literally beyond conception, beyond conception. So Bhishma Dev is so happy that he's remembering them, saying that, okay, if I remember what the gopis, their mercy will definitely help me. So here, I mean, this verse is so deep. We can keep going on. Each and every word we can meditate on. Whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Rajadama. So everything about Krishna is so attractive, so attractive. That's why Sarvakarshaka is all attractive. His motions means his movements, what he does. Gati, movements. Lalita Gati is attractive movements. Actually, everything about Madhuradipate Rakhilam Madhuram, everything about Krishna is so sweet and so attractive. It's just, beyond words. It's very difficult to explain. So many of our acharyas have given so beautiful descriptions about Krishna's beauty and how it attracts. And he smiles. Krishna smile. I have told this multiple times. Whenever we are in distress, we should just look at the beautiful smile. I mean, I have a big Radha Madhav photo in my house, and whenever I'm, for whatever reason, my mind is troubling me, I just look at the beautiful smile of Krishna, and that's it. And then automatically, when we see his smile, we also get a smile on our face. It's like, oh, what is this? You're just stuck with some nonsense thing of this material world. And see, look at our Lord. He's just happily smiling. His smile attracts everybody in this creation. Everything about Krishna attracts everybody. Just that they should let themselves be attracted by Krishna. That's all. So each and every verse here that Bhishma Dev is speaking is just like simply out of the world. Simply out of the world. You can just go deep into each and every aspect here. Krishna's movements. Sometimes we might have seen some people in this material world who are just very graceful in their movement. Krishna, whatever he does, however, whether he's jumping from a tree, whether he's doing something, everything is like, like that's in style. Krishna does everything in style. And it's unimaginable what it is. Only ways we can only experience it, that's all. And none of the other devotees can experience this. Yashoda Mai cannot experience this. As in, Yashoda Mata is just looking at Krishna. Every time she looks at Krishna, even if he's grown up, she just thinks he's a small baby and, milk flows from her breast. He just thinks still parental affection, like he's like small, my good boy, and Krishna is doing all kinds of stuff. Right? So nobody else can experience this. Nobody else can experience this sweetness except the gopis. All of Krishna's forms are eternal. Krishna's Balya, Krishna's Pauganda, Komara, all those forms are eternal. But the sweetest of the lot is Kaishora. So, yeah, the topic. Not get into too much right now. Okay. 41. मुनिगणनृप वर्ज संकुलेन्त सदसि युधिष्ठिर राजसूय एषाम् अर्हणम् उपपेद ईक्षणीयो मम दृशि गोचर एष आविरात्मा. At the Rajasuya Yagna, sacrifice performed by Maharaja Yudhishthira, there was the greatest assembly of all the elite men of the world, the royal and learned orders. And in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remember the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. So Bhishma Dev is remembering all those incidents, important incidents involving Krishna, and trying to remember them so that he can retain the picture of the Lord, the image of the Lord in those situations. And this is where Shishupala was killed, and Shishupala couldn't tolerate Sahadeva. Actually, everybody is asking who is the person to be worshipped first, is to be the most qualified, and everybody is like, there's so much of confusion out there, and Sahadeva gets up and he's very expert in speech, so he just makes it so clear, saying who else? It is Supreme Lord Krishna. And then everybody else accepts and appreciates, and then that Krishna is about to be worshipped, and then Shishupala just cannot tolerate it, and he just blasphemes the Lord, and everybody else is now getting ready to kill Shishupala because they're not able to it's an offense, aparada, to actually hear blaspheme of a devotee or the Lord. And all the other Kshatriyas there are now just gearing up to kill Shishupala. Then Lord says, oh, no, Rajasuya's yagna will get contaminated. And so he just, sends his Sudarshana. Sudarshana cuts Shishupala in such a way that not even a drop of blood falls in that Punya Kshetra. Right? So the Lord he's always concerned for the interest of his devotee. Oh, Yudhishthira wants to do Rajasuya Yagna. He's my dear devotee. I can't let it get spoiled. Okay, but this is blaspheming. And then not for my own sake, but for Yudhishthir Maharaj. Because otherwise there's going to be bloodshed here. So let me just finish him in such a way that he dies, but Rajasuya Yagna is not affected in any way. And so like this, Krishna does some amazing things. We just cannot understand him. It's so difficult. Okay, nothing specific here. Tamimam ajam sharira bhajam hृदि धिष्ठितम् आत्मकल्पितानां प्रतिदृशम् इव नैकधार्कम् एकम् samadhigatosmi vidhuta bhedamoha. Now I can meditate with full concentration upon that one Lord, Sri Krishna, now present before me, because now I have transcended the misconceptions of duality in regard to his presence in everyone's heart, even in the hearts of mental speculators. He is in everyone's heart. The sun may be perceived differently, but the sun is one. So duality is Krishna is present in everyone's heart. Krishna is present outside. Krishna's like sun may be perceived differently. So there might be so many things coming out of Krishna, but they're all Krishna. There's no difference. So Prabhupada writes in this purport, the worshipable object of Bhishma Dev is Lord Sri Krishna as Parthasarathi, and that of the gopis is the same Krishna in Vrindavan as the most attractive Shyamasundara. Sometimes less intelligent scholars make a mistake and think that the Krishna of Vrindavan and that of Battle of Kurukshetra are different personalities. But for Bhishma Dev, the misconception is completely removed. So he knew exactly he's the same Krishna. He's the same Krishna in Vrindavan. He's the same Krishna in Mathura. He's the same Krishna in Dwarka. He's the same Krishna in Vaikuntha. He's the same. There's no duality. He's also present in the hearts of all living entities. He's also present in his abode. He's not different personalities. He's the same personality. And he's so powerful that he can do all this. So all the misconceptions of duality are eradicated. And Prabhupada writes these misconceptions are just due to ignorance of his inconceivable energy. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate Swabhavik Jnana Palakriyacha. Everything about Krishna is innumerable energies, inconceivable energies. And so by his inconceivable energy, he's there in this material nature. He's there in the hearts of all jivas. He's also there in Goloka. He's also there in Vaikunta. He's there everywhere. It's just inconceivable. But what Bhishma experienced here is not theoretical. This is practical. Practically now he could experience saying that no, Krishna is there everywhere. Practical, not theoretical. Now what that practical realization is, that devotee can only explain, right? Who has reached that stage. But he could see that Krishna is the same everywhere, as in is one Krishna present everywhere. We have right now only a theoretical knowledge about this. We don't have the Vijnana of this. Vijnana will come at this stage of perfection. Narada Muni also, the stage of perfection, he gets the experience of the transcendental position of the Lord with respect to this material world. And then, of course, he is able to see the Lord face to face. That is the stage of prema. When we go to the stage of prema, we'll understand Krishna, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana, that science. We'll understand the science of Krishna, and at the same time, we'll experience the sweetness of Krishna. Both happen. Because we can't experience the sweetness without actually experiencing the power or the position of Krishna. So first that Vijnana, that okay, Krishna is everything, will be experienced, and then the sweetness will appear. So this is the stage of Krishna Prema. Yeah, misconception is completely good. Maybe we can finish this chapter. Tutavacha Krishna evam bhagavati mano vagdashti vrittivihi atmanyatmanamaveshya sonta shvasa uparamat. Sutta Goswami said thus Bhishma Deva merged himself in the super soul, Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, with his mind, speech, sight, and actions, and thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. See, merging oneself means by mind, speech, sight, and actions, not by existence. Meaning that our mind, speech, sight, and action should not be engaged in anything apart from Krishna. That is merging. Then we merge into Krishna. The stage attained by Bhishma Dev, 43. Yeah. While quitting his material body is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi, because he merged his self into thinking of the Lord and his mind into remembering all his different activities. So this is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Prabhupada is saying. Devotional service of the Lord consists of the 9 principles of service activities. Any one of them or all of them are equally competent to award the desired result, but they require to be practiced persistently. See, persistently under the guidance of an expert devotee of the Lord. Persistently under the. This is why we don't make progress. We are not persistent, and we are not under the guidance of an expert devotee of the Lord. Right? Though that is the whole idea of Diksha. The first item, hearing, is the most important item of all, and therefore hearing the Bhagavad Gita and later on Srimad Bhagavatam is essential for whom? For the serious candidate who wants to attain the stage of Bhishma Deva at the end. Very, very clear, right? But this is for the serious candidate, not for the casual candidate, not for the one who is saying, okay, ho jayega to theek hai. I mean, if I manage to get Krishna Prema, it's fine. Otherwise, it's okay. Or others, no, I want Krishna Prema, but I will take it lightly. I think my Guru's mercy is there. He will take me back. All this is misconception. Only those who are serious and seriously endeavoring towards this will get the mercy, not others. Otherwise, why would people crazy to be doing Tivra Bhakti? No, because this is the way to attain perfection. We should remember this. So our mind, speech, sight, actions, everything should become one with the Lord. And thus he became silent and his breathing stopped. That's it, breathing stopped. Just quit his body. That's all. Sampadyamanam agnaya bhishmam brahmani nishkale sarve bhavuvuste tushnim vayamsi vadinatyaye. Knowing that Bhishma Deva had merged into the ultimate unlimited eternity of the Supreme Absolute, all present there became silent like the birds at the end of the day. Again, this merging is not Sayujya. And merging is through Kaya Vacha Manasa Kritya. Tatra Dundubhayo Nedur Devamanavavadita Sasamstu Sadhavo Gragnam Khatpetu Pushpavrishtayaha. Thereafter, both men and demigod sounded drums in honor, and the honest royal order commenced demonstrations of honor and respect, and from the sky fell showers of flowers. The body of Bhishma Dev lost its material effects due to being surcharged with spiritual realization. And this happens to every perfect devotee. He just loses its material effects because it becomes surcharged with spiritual realization. And thus the body was spiritualized as when iron becomes red hot when in contact with fire. The body of a fully realized soul is not therefore accepted as material. This is the reason why we keep saying that great devotees, even today in ISKCON, they're showing pastimes of external bodily, pain and misery, etc. But they are not affected because they are completely self-realized and their body is not material. So we don't have to pray for their material, thinking that their body is material. In fact, it is an offense. It is an offense to think about the spiritual master or the great Vaishnavas like ordinary human beings. Special ceremonies are observed for such spiritual bodies. The respect and recognition of Bhishma Deva are never to be imitated by artificial means, as it has become a fashion to observe the so-called Jayanti ceremony of any and every common man. According to authorized Shastra, such a Jayanti ceremony for an ordinary man, however exalted he may be materially, is an offense to the Lord because Jayanti is reserved for the day when the Lord appears on the earth. Krishna Jayanti, that's all. No Balaram Jayanti also. Krishna Jayanti. The Lord appears on earth. So we should understand this is body spiritualized. So it's an offense to look at Vaishnava as Naramati, it is said. Naramati, like a Nara, like an ordinary human being. We should not see Vaishnavas like ordinary human beings. Pure devotees, we should not see them like that. Tasya niraharanadini samparetasya bhargava yudhishthirakarayitva muhurtam dukkito bhavat. O descendant of Bhrigu Shaunaka, after performing funeral rites for the dead body of Bhishma Dev, Maharaj Yudhishthira was momentarily overtaken with grief. Okay. Tushtuvurmunayo shrishtaha Krishnam tadguhya namabhihi tataste Krishna hridayaha swasramam prayayuh puna. All the great sages and glorified Lord Krishna was present there by confidential Vedic hymns. Then all of them returned to their respective hermitages, bearing always Lord Krishna within their hearts. The Lord is always anxious to put the devotees on the right path. Therefore, devotees are under the direct care of the Lord. Prabhupada says, see, always anxious. Of course, if we want to take the wrong path, then Krishna will not be able to prevent it because Krishna gives us that independence. But if you want to take the right path, Krishna is always anxious to help us. And therefore, devotees are under the direct care of the Lord. Devotees under the direct care of the Lord. Hare Krishna. ततो युधिष्ठिरो गत्वा सह कृष्णो गजाह्वयम् पितरं सान्त्वयामास गान्धारीं च तपस्विनीम्. Thereafter, Maharaj Yudhishthira at once went to his capital Hastinapura, accompanied by Lord Shri Krishna, and there he consoled his uncle and aunt Gandhari, who was an ascetic. Yeah. Pitra chanumato raja Vasudevanumoditah chakara rajyam dharmena pitrapaitamaham vibhuः. After this, the great religious king Maharaj Yudhishthira executed the royal power in the kingdom strictly according to the codes of royal principles approved by his uncle and confirmed by Lord Sri Krishna. The mass of people, especially in the age of Kali, are all born Shudras, basically low-born, ill-trained, unfortunate, and badly associated. Look at this powerful words. Born Shudras, basically low-born, ill-trained, unfortunate, badly associated. They themselves do not know the highest perfectional aim of life. Therefore, votes cast by them actually have no value. And this persons elected by such irresponsible votes cannot be responsible representatives like Maharaja Yudhishthira. So we don't cast vote at all. Because Prabhupada is saying there's no value in that. Because we're going to end up electing some irresponsible person who cannot be a responsible representative like Maharaja Yudhishthira. Okay, so we'll stop here. With this, we have finished this beautiful chapter 9. Chapter 8, chapter 9 are so blissful. Kunti Maharani and then Bhishma Devi. Okay, so we'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments. Anything? Anybody wants to say?
Prabhu, you mentioned that during chanting, we should only hear the name, right? So even spiritual thoughts like Krishna's form or any spiritual thought, even
Yeah.
that's something
Okay.
which is not recommended, right?
Okay, so let me explain this a bit. See, actually, the process of chanting is that we have to start off chanting with full concentration on hearing the Nama. Now, when we make progress in spiritual life, when we simply hear the name Krishna, so many aspects about Krishna might come automatically to our thought. Automatically. This is not triggered. Please note, this is not triggered. Which means that as soon as you hear Krishna, so many thoughts, if they naturally come, then it's okay. Because then we will not know that those thoughts are coming and we are not going to continue to try and retain those thoughts. If those thoughts about Krishna stop or some other thoughts come, we should become aware and we should cut it and again come back to hearing the Nama. So that is why initial stages it is said simply don't bother about these thoughts, because these thoughts are not natural. These are artificial in sometimes. Sometimes we're thinking, we are intentionally thinking, we are focusing on, okay, I'm thinking about the form of the Lord. I'm thinking, no, we cannot think. It has to just automatically come. When it automatically comes, we are making progress. Right? But we cannot make an effort, and we make effort. Thinking means effort. Thought has to come. So if that is happening to us, we are very, very fortunate. We are making tremendous progress. And please understand, if these things are happening, our rest of our life should also reflect this state of our chanting, which means that we should not be getting attracted by material things. We are disconnected with it. We don't want to, waste time doing nonsense things. Now, all this should accompany.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, we can't be artificially bringing thoughts into our mind about Krishna's form, or some Leela. So we'll think, okay, I want to think about today. Today, while chanting, I will think about Krishna's pastimes with gopis. No. No premeditated thoughts. And when will these thoughts come? When we hear so much about Krishna, and when we simply say Krishna, then whatever thoughts come into our mind can come. We're happy. I mean, it's a very fortunate position to be in.
Yeah. So sometimes in my practice of chanting, I sometimes don't get to hear the names properly. So what I do is I open Srimad Bhagavatam, read for some time, and sometimes hear some lectures, and then after that I find that mind is little conducive enough to chant properly. So just wanted to see that if this is a right practice or
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to do that. Just that we should not be chanting and simultaneously doing it, right? So as long as we've stopped the chanting, put the beads aside, and then we are trying to do something which is going to bring us back into better consciousness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good to do.
okay.
Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Okay. So can you share for next 2-3 minutes your takeaways from today's class?
Yeah. One takeaway is that a devotee can worship Lord even by fighting with him. Like this is a very rare state where devotee can exchange love even by beating him in love and all, like his friends Gopas and all that. So that is one form of thing. Although we should not imitate it, but that is one way of reciprocation. The other thing which I like beautifully, Prabhupada has mentioned that even though Lord Bhishma Deva, he was fighting from the front, and it apparently appeared that he is against Lord, but he could see the beautiful form of Parth Sarthi, while Arjun cannot see that because he was at the back. So he was actually doing meditation, and in that state he was doing so. Actually, it is a very transcendental state, and Prabhupada has mentioned that the yeah, another thing is that Salujya Mukti, that is different than what Bhishma Deva entered into. It's like keeping his mind, words, action in line with the devotional practice and still keeping the identity.
Okay. Nice. Okay, others? Nothing else? Yeah, Harnath Prabhu is saying devotees think material life is important. At least 15 to 18 years of complete devotional service. All of us should design our life to dedicate it to Krishna. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? Okay, so many other points were there, I thought. What is there? Yeah, how the position of gopis is so praiseworthy. Uh, uh, yeah, Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in Dwarka are all non-different, but still they are different. Serious candidate who wants to achieve the state of Bhishma Dev should engage in serious devotional service. A pure Vaishnava his body loses material effects. It's completely spiritualized. We should not look at those Vaishnavas on the material platform. Jayanti is only for the Lord. Lord is always anxious to put devotees on the right path. Therefore, devotees are under the direct care of the Lord. Okay, these were all the important. Okay, thank you very much. So we'll again, Krishna willing, meet next week, continue with chapter 10. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण।